Alright, I'm back. No AK R&D, just more AK builds. So this is the latest 74U build that I built off a rather fairly worn, fairly used pre-2019 receiver. I'd say it's a 2014, 2016, judging by the age of it. And this AK has the old stock style, old folding stock pin. So it's notch and not the crown pin like the LCT pins in the recent AK receivers. And the previous owner had spray painted in gold and tan, which I painstakingly removed most of the paint, but there's still flakes of it. But otherwise, took most of it off and configured this 74U as a, well, it's mostly like a probably Tarkov even because I'm a VVG grip, but well, for ado, let's get into it. So this AK has the mostly Xenico exterior, but there's a mixture of both LCT 5KU and TWI in this case, TWI parts, and to come together for this what looks like a complete Xenico build. Only thing I don't have, well, is probably a Xenico muzzle device, but I'll leave the owner, new owner, to figure that out for themselves, because the inner barrel installed in this one is quite long, so it's intended to be outdoors. This is meant to be around outdoors because it's a 245 air barrel. So this shoots slightly harder than 1.2, 1.3. I'll get the testing listed down in the sales post later, but for now, just gonna test it functional wise. So this AK has all steel WNS internals. Well, steel WS FCG fire control group, the steel BCG, but it has a Hephaestus ALG style trigger because when I built this, there was a shortage of those triggers, and the shortage of the WNS single hook triggers, and so I tried to mix and match, and turns out that Hephaestus triggers are inconsequential to mix with the WNS FCG internals. In fact, it's probably better because I realized that the Hephaestus double claw, double hook hammer catch has more clearance than the WNS single hook. So I don't have to shim it sideways to ensure that the hammer doesn't collide with the hammer catch claws themselves, the hook. And so this is a V2 kit. Specifically, it's a version 2A, which I call it the version 2A, which has a, it's still a recoil guide rod. It's a wire, and I managed to get it to, well, I managed to install a compound spring recoil guide. So pull it back in, what's it called, the full auto, and then I wrap it back, I could bolt lock it. But the cycling rate should be quite high. Lock that, open it up, and you see that that's the compound recoil guide I installed in there. So it's two-stage spring, and so the cyclic rate should be a little bit better than the original configuration. You can see that it both locks without issue. But obviously to unlock it, you have to rack it, pull back, and then send it. As you may notice, the recoil guide. So these recoil guides, they come with the rapid fire spring, but not the rubber pad stud. So I replaced that with a stud of my own design. Well, it's basically a, it's kind of washer printed, and then I screwed a M5 screw in it. And so that functions as an end stop. Because if you kept the rapid fire spring as it is, you can't bolt lock. There's not enough travel. What else? The hop up is a TNT with a Bowmaster feed ramp. So it's purple with the feed ramp screws replaced by myself. And this has a short stroke plate installed, my own short stroke shim plate, but that's only for the uptake. So there's no reduction in the over travel, which there's a bit, but this is meant to be more of an outdoor build. So it's okay to not have such a fast short trigger. It's okay. Well, I think it's okay anyways. You could run this for indoors, but you probably need a PVS can extension to actually run this properly because let's see, the inner barrel protrudes by quite a lot. So this is the original length of the inner barrel, which is 245, and by design, the muzzle booster, the 74U muzzle booster device is supposed to cover it up. So this thing is supposed to shoot 1.3 and above with the in its factory configuration. If you want to run this indoors, you probably need an NPAS or run 9 kilogram duster, and it should be under 1 joule. Right now it's probably higher. And let's see, the RP knob, that's a what's it called, LCT, but then it has a reprofiled insert so that it attaches securely and also allows a bolt lock. Hephaestus magwell, Hephaestus ambidextrous magazine release. This is a 5KU RK3, and then this I believe is a TWI PT3 because the Asura Dynamic PT3 has a different PT lock that's locking. The TWI version does not have a lock. Well, I mean, when I say PT lock, so when you fold it, it doesn't lock. There's no lock, spring-loaded lock that kind of locks it in place. It just flows about. If it was the LCT or the 5KU/Asura version, they would have a locking plate because they use the same locking plate for both their PT1 and PT3. TWI uses a different profiled PT lock for their PT3 as opposed to their PT1. Yep. Oh, and the B18 on top, that's a 5KU, as I recall correctly. Yep, it should be a 5KU. So it's mostly Zyko. Oh, and replica UVG grip, not branded. I don't care. That's for free. It's just there for you. Part of a sale, and so is a sling. Anyways, less faffing, and here's the testing. So 545 mag, no leaks. Slightly worn in lug, so that it locks in very nicely. No forceful loading. So rock it in place just like that. And photo. Yep. So I think that's one IA, one stoppage. Not quite sure. Maybe it just needs a bit of break-in, but no issues. Pretty round. If you need more stress testing, I'll do that in a separate video. All right. Next one. So this 74U, this was actually one of my clients' 74Us. I bought it back from him because he's exiting the system. Went over it again, checked everything for issues, and also rebuilt it slightly with a mixture of both Zenico and Hephaestus, well, basically capitalist parts. And this has the solid rod recoil guide from WNS, so it doesn't enable bolt lock. It can't bolt lock because there's 4 millimeters less travel than the wire recoil guide, so it can't bolt lock. So instead, I put back the rapid fire spring, and this allows for a slightly faster shooting AK, but also kicks decently enough, so it doesn't feel light like the Hephaestus steel BCG. And yeah, open up. You can see that that's the solid rod recoil guide, and it can't bolt lock, even if I tried. Like it just doesn't travel enough. But so this is much a faster shooting gun because the previous owner ran this for CQB, and he doesn't full auto. Doesn't full auto anyways. Shit. There you go. Internally, this is the same as the other AK. So WNS, FCG, BCG, but Hephaestus trigger, Hephaestus AOG trigger, and crib safety. But crib safety, but the bolt lock is not, well, it's not bondable bolt lock, it's a rapid fire spring. Because, well, we can't, literally, Hephaestus steel BCGs have been out of stock for a very, very long time, and still no end in sight. Oh, and before I forget to mention, both AKs, the B11 installed on both of these is an LCT. So, shit, yeah, I forgot. So the B11 and B19 installed on this AK is a LCT. But the anchor block, as with any Zeniko parts I've installed, reprofiled anchor block and also shin plate on front. So there is absolutely zero play, zero wobble on these rails. Oh, and yeah, the Hephaestus steel outer barrel has been installed on both these AKs, so there should be no play on the front sight gas block. Yeah, so everything is just rock solid. Obviously, don't go whacking someone with the AK, but it should hold zero if you were to attach any attachments on it. I'm not sure if we would, but it just feels much better than a wobbly and loose Zeniko installation, Zeniko handguard installation. This one, LCT B11, but paired with a 5KU B19, low profile B19. Was it H? I don't know what it's called, but basically, if you were to install a forward biased dot sight, it should co-witness, and you will be able to see it with the Hephaestus rear sight rail. It co-witness with the irons. If you install the dot sight on the rear sight rail, you won't get your co-witness anymore, and yeah. But it's a lower profile than B18, so your mileage may vary depending on what you're using it for. The same with the other build, I installed an RP knob, but this RP knob is not meant to be, it does not allow for bolt lock, so it's just there for more ergonomic charging, whichever way you like it. This, I believe, is a, this is an LCT LCT Bulgarian 4P replica. So if you want to install a Bifrost M tracer core in there, you could. And the inner barrel on this is a old gen A+ hop-up. And I've checked the condition; it's still in very good condition. You can't really get replacement parts. So this configuration is sold as is. If you want to replace a hop on this, there will be additional charges, or you have to pay for. You have to source it yourself, or I will source it at your cost, buyer's cost. Otherwise, I'm not going to screw that, but yeah. So same internals except for the hop up. Externally, what else? So Zeniko front end, Hephaestus rear sight rail, Hephaestus ambidextrous bolt, magazine catch, magwell, trigger, crib safety. This is a genuine Magpul K2 grip. I know. If you're in the States, it doesn't make sense. I'm shipping you a Magpul grip backwards, but the price will be reflected. So this AK will be sold at a lower price than that build, solely because on the fact that this is like what, third potential owner. Okay, moving back, Hephaestus AR2 adapter. Remember, this is a tube adapter. It was not intended to be used as a folding stock, and installed is a PTS stock that's for free. It's just there. It's a temporary stock if you need one, or if you don't like it, just swap it out. That's not factored in the price of this gun. And so is that replica foregrip. And that's about it. And again, faffing about. This AK, I don't have any I don't have any Russian mags to go with it. So here is a PMAG style magazine, and the lug on this, it's decently worn, but as with any PMAG, it takes a bit of rocking to get into AK with the magwell. So how I do it is I hold the PMAG in reverse and then lock it in just like that. I believe that is the nope. I might have issues with this firing pin. Try that again. Yep, so something might be wrong with this firing pin. I'll have to go figure it out. So the WNS firing pin has been pretty wonky as of late. Just works sometimes it doesn't. So I'll take this off the video right now. I'll come back again when that's done, but for now, this is on for sale. Still is for sale. So this is priced around 1.2 US. Because this is a worn receiver. It's a known pre-2019 receiver, and I completely rebuilt it from scratch. So you can see that there's actually a mixture of like new steel, new dust cover, and then some of the older parts, and then a very well worn, withered muzzle booster device. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm back. Seems like it wasn't a issue with firing pin. It's just a issue with the P-Mag not playing nicely with the WNS MT magazine catch. Well, the shim basically, small coil spring that's sleeved over the magazine, MT magazine catch. Doesn't play well. So I am going to include a 545 magazine with this 74U as it should be. So no funny 762 crink off bullshit. And this is a newer mag, so it takes a bit of effort to get in there. Ah, shit. Yep. Very, very tight mag. And right, I didn't gas this mag properly, but it works. Basically, it's not the firing pin; it's just magazine. So this would be sold with one Russian magazine, one 545 magazine. And if anyone's interested, let me know. Oh, and before I get off, this AK will come with all factory GHK parts, including a folding stock. While this AK, it's gonna be sold for less, and whatever parts I have, I will include it. But otherwise, just expect to run these AKs as it is.